Welcome back to the Deep Dive. You know the drill here. We take interesting stuff, sometimes complex sources, and we really zero in on the most valuable takeaways for you.
Yeah, distill it down to what really matters.
Exactly. And today, we're diving into a book that, wow, it seems like everyone is talking about it.
It's definitely creating a buzz.
It is. It's called The Let Them Theory, a life-changing tool that millions of people can't stop talking about. The author is Mel Robbins, published by Hay House.
A very intriguing title.
Right. So our mission today isn't just a summary. We want to really unpack this let them theory, get into what it is, how it actually works day to day.
And explore how applying it, in different parts of your life, relationships, work, even just handling stress can be genuinely freeing, like the book claims.
Yeah, liberating is the word they use.
It really is. And I think why it hits home for so many is that it's not just advice, it's a perspective shift. Fundamentally. Away from focusing outwards, trying to manage everything and everyone around you, that constant urge to control, and instead bringing that focus back inside, back to your own internal power, your own freedom. The frame is simple: let them and let me. Sounds easy, but the implications are pretty deep. It helps you decide what's truly important, where your energy should go.
Okay, let's dig into that core idea. Because it sounds simple, like you said. The book's central point seems to be that maybe the problem isn't always us, like fundamentally flawed us.
Right.
But it's the power we often, without realizing it, just give away to other people, to situations outside our control. We're constantly trying to manage everything.
Constantly. And it's draining. So the let them part, that's the first piece. It's consciously deciding to give other people the space to be who they are.
To say what they want, think what they want, do what they want.
Exactly. It means accepting something really tough, which is you cannot control other people, their choices, their feelings, how they see you. You just can't.
Yeah, it's hard.
It is. The book gives great examples, like feeling stung because someone didn't invite you somewhere, or parents stressing because their kids forgot prom dinner reservations. Little things, big things.
Or just people having opinions about your life.
Always. And the key insight, which Mel Robbins really hammers home, is trying to control that stuff. It doesn't calm you down. The book says it straight up. Trying to control people and situations doesn't calm your fears. It amplifies them.
Wow. Okay, so grabbing tighter actually makes the anxiety worse.
Precisely. So if let them is about releasing that external grip, then the other half is let me. This is the pivot inward.
This is where you come in.
Yes. Focusing on what you can actually control, your thoughts, your actions, how you respond. The book uses these action phrases. Let me figure out what's really going on here. Let me be more proactive. Let me prioritize connecting with people. Or for a job hunt, let me go get it.
So stopping the reaction, starting the action.
You got it. And there's this great analogy in the book, the seesaw. Picture it. When you're trying to control others, obsessing over their opinions, needing their approval.
Yeah.
You're basically loading up their side of the seesaw with all this heavy stuff, your expectations, your fears, and it makes you sink. You feel heavy, stuck.
Okay, I can picture that.
But when you truly practice let them, you take that weight off their side, you stop putting your energy there, and what happens, you start to rise.
Reclaiming your own lightness.
Yeah.
Power.
Exactly. Giving others the power makes you sink. Reclaiming it lifts you up. Let them clears the space. Let me is taking action within that space. Your space.
Okay, let's make this real. How does it work in, say, dealing with everyday stress and that urge to control? The book says that urge comes from fear, right?
Absolutely. Deep-seated fear.
And when you're trying to control the uncontrollable, like the checkout line speed or someone coughing near you on a plane you mentioned, it amplifies stress. It puts your brain in survival mode.
That's what the neuroscience suggests, yeah. Dr. Aditi is mentioned in the book confirming this. Your brain goes into fight or flight. It sees the slow line or the cough as a threat. And in that mode, forget creativity, problem solving, connection. Your best self just goes offline.
Okay, so what's the let them let me response there? You can't stop the cough.
No, you can't. So let them cough, except you can't control that person. But let me focus on my response.
Meaning,
let me manage my own anxiety about it, maybe do some deep breathing, like the book suggests, to calm my nervous system. Let me take care of myself, maybe put on a mask if I'm worried. You shift focus from their action to your reaction and self-care.
So you take your power back by focusing on your own actions.
That's the core of it. It makes you the agent of your own experience, not a victim of circumstance. Breathing exercises are a practical tool mentioned for exactly this, interrupting the stress response.
Okay, let's shift gears. What about feeling stuck? like in your career.
Yeah.
You feel you deserve that promotion, it's not happening. The book says, let them string you along.
Yeah, it's deliberately provocative. It forces the question, whose job is your career?
Mine, I guess.
Exactly. The book argues that feeling stuck is often a story we tell ourselves, maybe to avoid the scary part of making a change. You aren't stuck, you have options. The let me here is powerful, let me go get it.
So stop complaining about the boss or the company.
And put that energy into what you can control. Update your resume, network, learn something new, look for other jobs. The book admits this is hard work. It takes effort. But it's the only work that actually moves you forward. It's your responsibility.
That leads nicely into comparison. Oh boy, we all do it right.
Human nature, definitely.
But the book warns against fixating on stuff you can't change about yourself or others. Their luck, their natural gifts. It calls that self-torture.
Which it is. It gets you nowhere. The let them here is crucial. Let them have their success, their advantages, their path. Release that struggle against their reality. Your power is in playing your hand the best you can.
So don't get bitter, get busy.
Kind of. The book suggests reframing it. See their success not as a threat, but as proof of what's possible. Maybe it can even let them lead the way, showing you a path.
Like the Molly story you mentioned. Seeing someone else succeed actually lit a fire under her.
Exactly. She flipped the envy into motivation and action. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Turn comparison from torture into a teacher, or at least fuel.
Okay, what about friendships? Adult friendships can be tricky. The book calls it the great scattering.
Such a relatable term.
Yeah. Friends move, priorities change with jobs, marriage, kids. It's not like school anymore where everyone's right there. Feeling lonely seems common.
Very common. And the book validates that. But again, you're not stuck. Let them not text back immediately. Let them have different priorities now. It's usually not personal. It's just life dynamics changing.
So the power is in.
Let me actively create connection. It's shifting from expecting it to happen passively, like when we were younger, to taking responsibility for building it now.
And the book gives practical tips.
Yes, like give it a year, committing to putting yourself out there consistently in a new place or situation. Or the habit of going first.
Meaning?
Let me introduce myself first. Let me suggest the coffee date. Let me knock on the neighbor's door. It takes bravery, accepting some awkwardness maybe, but that's how you build that social scaffolding as an adult.
Yeah.
You have to show up.
Okay, this one's tough. Wanting someone you love to change. Their health habits, maybe they're stuck. You try to help, but it causes fights.
Oh, that's a painful one. The book's take is pretty blunt. Adults only change when they want to, your pressure. It actually triggers their resistance. Their brain sees it as you trying to control them.
So pushing makes them push back harder.
Exactly. Survival instinct for autonomy kicks in. The advice is stark. Let them be adults.
Yeah.
Your power isn't enforcing them, it's in influencing them.
By backing off.
Partly. Release the pressure, let them be. Then focus on influence, let me. The book mentions things like asking open-ended questions, not giving advice unless asked. And understanding your frustration, the 5 whys technique, helps see if it's really about your need for control.
And celebrating small steps.
Yes. Positive reinforcement works because our brains move towards pleasure. And modeling behavior is huge. The coworker, taking Locke's example, you let me model the change, you don't preach it. Create space for them to own the idea.
What about when someone is really struggling? Addiction, mental health, the instinct is rescue.
And the book shares a hard truth. Rescuing often enables the struggle to continue. You can't want it more than they do. Constantly saving them from consequences can prevent them from finding their own strength.
So let them struggle might mean setting boundaries, like cutting off money.
It might. It's incredibly hard, but sometimes hitting their bottom, feeling the full consequences is what connects them to their own will to change. The Chris's brother example illustrates this. It's not abandonment, it's tough love aimed at fostering their own resolve.
So what's the alternative to rescuing? Supporting the right way.
Right. It's different. It's practical help without being asked. Food, chores. It's being present, listening without judgment. It's holding hope for them. The book says, let them borrow their belief from you.
Stand beside them, not carry them.
Exactly. Support their journey. Don't try to live it for them. Respect their autonomy, even in the struggle.
Let's talk dating and heartbreak.
Mm-hmm.
The book distinguishes chasing love from choosing it.
Yes, and it takes bravery. Bravery to be you, and bravery to see their behavior clearly without making excuses. Giving your power away happens when you ignore inconsistent behavior.
So let their behavior be the clear message.
That's a key quote. Let them Give mixed signals. Let them not prioritize you. Your let me is. Let me see this clearly, and let me choose not to chase what isn't freely given or consistent.
Saying no to the wrong ones to make space for the right one.
Absolutely. And recognizing incompatibility is different from a lack of commitment. Sometimes you have to let them go their way and let me choose my own path, even if it hurts, like that London breakup example.
And heartbreak itself. The theory doesn't erase the pain.
No way. Pain is real. Grief is necessary. Let me grieve. Let me cry. But the let me also guides how you move through it.
Yeah.
Practical steps. Change your environment, lean on support, fill your time, challenge yourself, and that powerful reframe. How would you act now if you knew love was coming? It shifts focus from loss to living. Let me rebuild my life.
It really feels like all these paths, stress, career, relationships, they all lead back to one place.
They do. The relationship with yourself, that's the foundation.
Let them be them so you can finally let me be me. Is that a quote?
It is. It's about self-acceptance, setting your boundaries, pursuing your dreams without needing permission. Everything you seek outside acceptance, love it has to start inside. Let yourself be who you truly are.
So wrapping this up, the big shift from the let them theory is moving focus from controlling the uncontrollable outside
to owning your internal power, your choices, your responses.
Like the weather analogy, you can't change the storm.
But you decide if you'll dance in the rain or build a shelter or just get wet. You decide how it impacts you.
And that's where the freedom is.
That's the liberation the book talks about. Focusing only on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, energy, and letting go of the rest. It's not easy. It's a practice.
Definitely practice. So here's a final thought for you listening, building on that idea of belief. What if you really started practicing this today? Took back your power, focused only on what's yours to control, let go of managing everything else. If you did that, what amazing thing, maybe something that feels impossible right now, would you finally, truly let me pursue? Something to think about. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Yeah, remember that power. It's right there within you.